A very good morning, everyone. We're in Singapore for the Ultra Trail Singapore 50 kilometers at the MacRitchie Reservoir. And by my side is Amy Kaur, a Singapore resident, Singapore nationality as well. And of course, our long-time ATM contributor. Amy, how special is it for you to be here now at the start line of UTSG? Because trail running in Singapore is still not so straightforward.
Definitely, I'm very happy because, in Singapore, you hardly find trails, and then to be able to have the first race in this UTSG in the ATM series is really remarkable, and we are hoping that we will have more race upcoming years.
Why do you think trail running in Singapore is so difficult to organize?
Well, I guess mostly it's because of the authorities, and then we have MParks that's governing this. So there's a lot of national parks and also terrains that we couldn't get into. So we have to make use of a lot of park connectors and also along the roads and bridges even to run with. So it's not so simple and straightforward when it comes to running trails in Singapore.
And of course, there's also no mountains in Singapore, so we are looking at very fast trails, fast race today. A different field of participants as well. There's quite a few road runners here who, give trail running a chance this weekend, today. But there are a lot of runners in Singapore and also high-level runners. Who do you think we should look out for here from the Singapore side?
Well, I guess for Singapore side, we know there's a few very good runners like Derek himself, and also Chris Timms is their home ground here. So I believe they'll be leading the leaders like Stingray and also Hao Ha. But of course, I think Hao Ha today she will be doing very well. I'm not so sure whether she will be the overall winner this time.
Are you aware of any potential dark horses from Singapore, like runners who may surprise us today?
For ladies, actually, we do have a lot of China residents that is residing in Singapore. Like lady, there's a Wang Li who has been, I think she was the champion last year, if not wrong. And I think for the guys, Vanya. Vanya is definitely, she's not a dark horse, but definitely, I believe he'll be doing well today. Yeah.
Vanya from Belgium, but she has been living in Singapore for 11 years, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, she knows the trails here like the back of her hand. We just see Hao Ha passing her. That will be the big fight today in the women's competition, Hao Ha against Vanya Knops. Hao was dominant, was superb in Tioman 50, a race that you know very well, about a month ago, exactly 4 weeks ago. But now she is up against Vanya Knops, who was the first female runner to put her under pressure at the Mount Appel Skyways in 2022. Will be the second time that the Vanya and Hao face each other in a race. Do you think that there's any chance that Vanya might actually beat Hao Ha?
We never know because Hao Ha, we know that she is very good in technical trails and in mountains and all, but in Singapore it's a little bit different. We have very, very hot and humid weather here, and there's a lot of urban that she has to tackle, and then it might be very different for her. So Vanya, she runs here like any time, so we never know. So it depends on whether there's a game changer today. Yeah.
This event is organized by the ex-Trailblazers community. It's a very large community, and as you mentioned before, there was a winner already last year, because this is the third edition, I think, of this event. Third edition of UTSG 50 kilometers. We will have the start at 6:45 here right behind us. That's about sunrise time, right? So it will essentially be a daytime race. That means it will become very hot, will be very humid. Just for the people who are not living in this kind of climate, just how difficult is it to run in these conditions here in Singapore?
Wow. Okay. Honestly speaking, if you guys look happen to see Hao Ha's reel yesterday, is really hot, and the humidity is, I can tell you, not many international runners could kind of take this. So in fact, there's a lot of international runners that come to Singapore and train for this climate. We do not have mountains. We do not have like hills and mountains and stuff like that. But yeah, the weather is a very good challenge for these runners.
All right, and that's all for now. We're going to be waiting for the start, 6:45. So we are looking forward to a big battle between Vanya Knops and Hao Ha in the women's race. And in the men's race, we have John Ray Onifa, the ATM champion, reigning ATM champion, and he will be facing Jeff Campbell. Jeff Campbell, of course, used to be the dominator on the 50-kilometer runnable trails. But he has been transitioning a little bit to the ultras, so he's focusing a bit more on the long distance and also on the mountain trails, age-related apparently. Jeff has also become 40 plus now. So, yeah, I mean, here in Singapore, who knows if he can take the fight to John Ray Onifa. We have seen Jeff. He was late arriving in Singapore yesterday, exactly because of a flight delay, something that I also experienced, unfortunately. So we have to see if Jeff will be fit enough to actually take the fight to John Ray Onifa. John Ray Onifa, incidentally, is not yet here, so we hope that he will be here on time. Thank you very much, Amy, for these contributions. We'll be seeing each other later today. And we're going to be walking through the grid a little bit. I think we have more than 350 runners, something like that. On the 50 kilometer, they will be starting in 2 waves, which again is a regulation here in Singapore. You cannot have too many people at the same time, I believe. So yeah, let's walk with us and let's take a look at who's all here. And we can see Jeff Campbell standing there with David Longo. David Longo, also a contender for the podium here, together with Chris Timms, Derek Lau. Derek Lau. Here we have Derek. We have Kees Brouwer as well. Here we have Jeff Campbell. Jeff, we are live on the ATM channels. You made it to Singapore after all.
Yeah, came in late last night. Got a few hours sleep, and looking forward to a nice run out on the streets of Singapore.
Is it your first time in Singapore?
It's not my first time in Singapore. I've been here many times, but my first time racing here. So yeah, looking forward to a nice one with I think Singapore has probably the best trail running community, considering how limited the trails are here. So it's really nice to be out here with all the Singaporean runners.
Okay, great. Jeff, normally speaking, you would be the top favorite on a race like this, even against John Ray Onifa. Yeah. But given the potential jet lag, how do you feel about that today?
Well, I mean, there's not only John Ray Onifa, but some David Longo, Chris Timms, some really good runners out there. I'm going to do my best. You know, this will be my longest race since I had a little bit of a knee injury over the Christmas holidays. But I had a nice build up, and yeah, going to go out there and see if I can hold the pace.
All right, wishing you all the best, Jeff. Here we have David Longo, we have Chris Timms and Derek Lau from Singapore. Derek, we saw each other already yesterday evening at the Red Dot Running Company gathering. How you feel this morning for the race?
Okay, as normal. You know, I run every Saturday. This is like the usual running place, except a lot more roads. So yeah, we should have a good race. I mean, we have all the elite runners here.
You have home advantage as well, of course. Do you see yourself as a potential podium contender today?
Definitely not. You know, we have very strong runners with high VO2 max. No, just happy to be able to run with them. You know, friends. Great time to catch up with everyone.
All right, all the best for the race, Derek. All right, Chris Timms. Yeah, you were also there last night at the Red Dot Running Company. Always in good mood. How do you see yourself this morning for a potential podium?
You know what, today I'm looking forward to today. There's some really fast people here today. My aim today will be not to try and keep up with them, just to try and keep my own pace, make sure I don't blow up and have a good day. But yeah, loving that there's so many proper elite runners here. We got some of the best trail runners in Asia here today, so super excited.
You're also a Singapore resident, so you know the local community very well. Is there anyone here in the starting field that maybe ATM is not aware of?
Yeah, there's quite a few actually. I think they've all done ATM, but we've got Brian Angwin here, who is a super fast veteran. We've got Frank Feng. We've got Kees Bowie over here, who I don't believe has done much ATM stuff before. Rich over here as well. We've got some awesome runners here. So yeah, a lot of top 10. I think there'll be a lot of Singaporean top 10, not far behind the elite crew. So that'll be a competition in itself.
All right, all the best, Chris. Thanks. We have here we have Hao Ha. So Hao Ha has made it to finish. Hao Ha, good morning. Welcome to Singapore. I think it's your first time?
No, second time.
Second time, but first time racing or?
No, just go to tourist for holiday.
Okay. How are you feeling this morning? You ready for a flat race?
I feel good. The weather very nice and everything perfect.
All right, we wish you all the best, Hao Ha. Yeah. And we move quickly to Hao Ha's main rival for today, probably Vanja Knops. Vanja, you had some good experiences running against Hao Ha 2 years ago in the Mount Appel Sky Race, in the sense that you kept her behind for a while.
It was okay, yeah. I finished 2 hours behind the red that day, so I don't know if it's a really good experience, but
But you were the first female runner to put Hauha under pressure on that day. Do you think you can do that again here in Singapore, in your resident country?
I will definitely try. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
You were not there at the Red Dot Running Company last night. Was that in preparation of the race?
It's actually because I have an eye infection. I have a difficulty opening my eye, so it's a bit, yeah, I don't know how it...
You think it will affect your race a bit?
Maybe.
All right, wishing you all the best, Vanya. Yeah. All right. Here we have Denning Low. She's from Singapore, a winner of the Silabur Cave Trail. But today you're not running, Denning, because you're part of the organizing community.
I'm just volunteering.
You're just volunteering.
I'll be a road marshal later.
You will be running a mantra in 2 weeks.
I don't know yet. I'm still like questioning my life choice. I don't know whether, but I think I will. I just want to run a volcano.
All right, thanks a lot, Denning. Yep. Denning Low is also one of the road runners here in Singapore who has been converting, so to speak, to trail. I think we're about 5 minutes now before the start. Kees Brouwer also here. Lots of familiar faces, people who run quite a lot of Asia Trainmaster events throughout the season, and this is now finally a race in their home country, Singapore. First Singaporean ATM race since 2018. We had King of the Trails 6 years ago, a race that was won by Salva Rambla and Alessandro Sherpa at the time, 2018. That was the year that the Italian and the Spaniard, the two expats, even though Salva was not actually an expat, he traveled from Barcelona to Asia for 4 months in order to compete in the ATM Championship. But at the end of the day, in Izu Trail, it was Alessandro Sherpa who took the title. We're not going to be able to walk through a lot. We have seen Jeff, we have not yet seen Stingray. So let's take a quick peek through to see if we can catch Stingray. In the meantime, after the start, we will be hopping on a motorcycle and we should be able to keep you all updated on what is happening in the race throughout the morning. And we are here now in the first block, first wave. This is the second wave, as you can see, they will be starting a few minutes later. And we're still not seeing John Ray Onifa. Now, we've already been told that if Stingray for some reason does not make it in time for the start, that he can start in the second wave. The results will be based on net timing. So even if Jeff Campbell crosses the line first later, it might still be Stingray who will be declared as the winner if he runs indeed faster as Campbell. 2 more minutes before the start, so we're going to be heading to the front of the pack. We also have a lot of runners here from Brunei, including Leha Ko, one of the new faces in Brunei. Potential podium candidate, let's say 3rd place. We also have another runner from Vietnam here. Does not have a bib, so I'm actually not 100% he will be competing. And yeah, so John Ray Onifa, he was a late announcement for this race. Actually, he was not, but then he decided not to join until a few days ago when he called up David Longo, the T8 manager from Hong Kong, team manager of John Ray Onifa, and saying that, after all, he wants to race here. He was there last night at our pre-race gathering. You can watch the video on YouTube and Facebook, also on X. If you join X. And now there's an official call for John Ray Onifa already. Also for John Ray Onifa, it will be the first time racing in Singapore. Earlier this year, Stingray mentioned to me that he will focus a little bit more on speed and even on road marathons. So this would be in line with that statement he made a few months ago. I think it was at the Danao City Trail in Cebu, Philippines, candidate race. We also see Grandmaster, or soon to be Grandmaster, Lawrence Ho from Singapore. He's also part of the crew here today. We also have Eddie Huang there. He's the event director, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Eddie Huang was an ATM finalist last year for Singapore. And here we have Gim now standing by my side, coach of Hauha. Gim, how are you doing this morning?
Good, good. Just waiting to see. That's going to be a fast race, so yeah, exciting. Yeah, and very good elite runners coming today, so yeah, very good.
Are you in any way concerned that Vanya might have a strong case here today?
We'll see, I'm sure. I mean, she lives here, so I mean, she's playing at home. So yeah, we'll see, very exciting.
After Tioman, how did it go with recovery, training for the big event in August?
Yeah, it's good. Keep training well. She recovers normally very fast, so yeah, it's good. All on the track.
All right. Thanks a lot, Gim. We'll be seeing each other on the trails for sure. And we are just moments away now from the start. Once again, we do not see Stingray. So anyway, that's a bit of a pity if he does not make it here, but hopefully he can still make it for the second wave. So we have Jeff Campbell, David Longo, we have Hauha, Chris Timms here at the front. And here we go. Here's Stingray. Stingray is here, okay. So that was the first wave. So that's great. So Stingray is here at the starting line. He was just a bit hidden, probably just finished, just arrived here moments before the start. Here we have the second wave. So once again, the result of today's race will be based on chip time, on net time. Technically that means that the runner who crosses the finish line first in a couple of hours is not necessarily the winner. So it will be based on net time. It's a controversial thing. Personally, I do not like it at all, also as in my experience as a race director. But that's how it is here now. So hopefully there will be no controversies later on. Stingray, for example, I mean, he started obviously at the back of this first wave. That means that even if he finishes in the slipstream of Jeff Campbell, he will be declared as winner. So that's what I mean. Even if they sprint to the finish and Jeff Campbell beats Onifa at the line, Stingray will have an advantage on net time. That's why I don't like this regulation. We've also had it 15 years ago when it all started with these chip times and these net times. We also had it in cycling, and that was just turned out to be a complete mess, and it got abolished already. So I was a bit surprised that this rule is now in place here. I'm sure that the organizers have their reasons. Of course, the main reason will be that they have to, by regulation, also start in waves, and nobody wants to disadvantage the second wave runners here. Because yeah, it's trail running, it's Singapore, you never know who is here. So we have our list of favorites, we have our list of contenders, but there's always unknown people. There's road runners here who give trail a chance today, because this is a runnable trail. And once again, we will be taking a closer look at this second wave. Maybe go a little bit on the side, see if we can see more runners from up close. And afterwards we will be going to the trails by motorcycle and catch up with the front runners. 2 minutes to go. This is a bigger wave, of course. Yeah. In total, there's about 350 people on the start list. Could even be a little bit more. So, good morning, everybody. Yeah. Also, a lot of runners from Brunei, as I mentioned before. There's also runners from Thailand. Amorn Kimguan is here, ATM finals last year, and also going for a qualification again, ATM final this year, 14 September, Borneo TMBT Ultra on a customized 78-kilometer course, which will be a mixture of the traditional 100 and the 50k at Borneo TMBT, one of the classics in Southeast Asia. So as you can see, there's a very big wave, lots of runners here at the start, and we're going back to the front because we're going to be starting very soon here at the MacRitchie Reservoir. Meantime, it's getting bright, sunrise is coming up soon. And a very nice park here, MacRitchie, kind of the trail running hub for the Singaporeans. Here we have Lawrence Ho, ultra distance specialist. He will be running in Muspo in a few weeks, 2 weeks. And here we'll have the start of the second wave.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Here we go. Second wave, Ultra Trail Singapore, 50 kilometers. There we have Ko Ing Hui. Ko Ing Hui is one of the. There's actually going to be a third wave now, I see. Must be due to the number of runners. But I just saw Ko Ing Hui there. Ko Ing Hui is Malaysian, but has been living in Singapore for more than 10 years, I believe, and he will be running for Singapore in the ATM final, provided he gets qualified. But it's looking good because he's the number one on the Singapore ATM ranking so far. Ko Ing Hui, he was a top 5 placer at the Silabur Cave Trail just a month or 2 ago. It's also a new trail runner, Ko Ing Hui. So yeah, there's going to be a third wave, and then I can imagine there might even be a fourth wave coming up. But I'm afraid we will need to close this live stream now because we want to catch up with the first wave along the trails. So thank you very much for watching this live stream, and I will be back with updates very soon from UTSG 50.